Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Venevri. I am a psychic intuitive as well as Reiki practitioner. And this video today is going to be on our weekly collective energy update from Monday, June the 7th until Sunday, June the 13th of 2021. So I do want to mention that this week we do have a solar eclipse as well as a Gemini new moon, and I believe they fall or they kind of align on the same days, which is June the 10th. So wherever you are in the world, make sure to check that out. Also, really quickly, I want to give a huge shout out to Amanda Ellis. She is another psychic medium here on YouTube. She just did a energy reading on that as well. I really love her. I really appreciate her. I really resonate with what she's doing. And yeah, she has a really good video there too. So I recommend looking up her solar eclipse video. I think it was called Flaming June or something like that, but Amanda Ellis. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into the video. So I'm going to be starting off with the Chakra Oracle Insight deck here for us, and I'm going to list all of the decks below in the description box, as well as if you'd like to book a distance Reiki session with me and or a personal reading. Okay, so the first card that came out for us is number 45, Intelligence. So we have education, knowledge, perception, and flexibility. I'm seeing a lot of white light energy. Ooh, interesting. I'm seeing a lot of white light energy and a hint of orange energy around the word perception. It was just like a little speck and a little flare. So maybe it could be something that we have to switch in terms of, or something we have to be mindful of. That's what it more feels like. Sacral chakra, creativity, sensuality, sexuality. It feels like creativity though, but let's keep going with this and see what comes out. So intuition, number 41, trust, insight, awareness, and guidance. Okay. Trust, insight, awareness, and guidance. What else is here for us for this week? Okay, so card number 3, we have presence. Number 44, awareness, attention, reality, and connection. So there's that presence. And then we also have throat chakra, number 29. So all about speaking from the heart, being able to express what we want into physical reality in healthy ways, healthy and dynamic ways. Bottom of the deck, we have number 40, visualization. So this is imagination, focus, experience, and manifestation. It's interesting because our manifestation comes from our creativity centers, which is our sacral chakra, which is that little hint of orange energy I was seeing. Okay, so what else is happening for us this week? What else is happening for us this week? Maybe that creativity and orange energy is to do around the new moon and the solar eclipse kind of time, but let's keep seeing. Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Okay, so this is harvesting. This is kind of basking in everything that feels really good. What else is here for us this week? This is also, I'll show you the deck in a bit, but this is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. So this is what the card looks like, and this is the card that fell out. So release the old and rest. So it's interesting because I chose to use the word harvesting and enjoy growth and reap rewards. And look at the colors here. They're orange and they symbolize autumn. And to me, autumn just signifies harvesting season, okay? So it's really interesting too to see the orange with the little hint of sacral chakra as well. So release the old and rest, okay? So maybe that's what we have to do. Maybe there's something that we've been perceiving, or something's going to come into perception for us this week where it's about releasing the old, okay? And coming into that more kind of like balanced state. I'm just going to get one more card from this deck for this week for us. So the Hermit card did want to show its face, and what ultimately flew out was the Druid. Hold the space. Hold the space. I love how still this person is in this this photo, right? This individual. Very still, and it kind of is a little bit of that energy too, that stillness where it's like we're not really moving, but we're just more or less relaxing into the essence of what is, which is really interesting too, because that's like the presence, right? Bringing your awareness to that present moment really requires you to be kind of still in the mind, so that way you can really match that moment in its true authentic presence, right? Oh wow, look, stay rooted and grounded. So again, with that kind of stillness energy, not really moving, but just being rooted in where we are kind of energy, right? And this, I feel like this is energetically, this, I mean, this can be physically too, right? But I feel like it's really more about like just standing still in where we are this week and just kind of observing or watching or being rather than doing. Really interesting start to June. Okay, I'm going to, actually, you know what? They want me to keep pulling from this deck. I'm going to pull another card from this deck, okay? Stay rooted and grounded. Okay, hold on. Oof, that one flew. Okay, so we have Spirit Fox. Trust your talents in changing times, okay? So it almost feels like this energy of, yeah, like being still, because things might start to change this week. There might be some like exterior movement or things happening in the reality where it's moving, and it's like, okay, this might even be a time this week where some of us start to realize like, oh, this is kind of something that I'm really good at, or oh, this is something that's kind of been in my heart, or this is new. Who would have thought that I would have been doing this, right? Okay, so I'm actually going to pull one more card from this too, but I do want to show you again, Winter, take care of your needs. That was the bottom of the deck from the Spirit Fox that fell out, but look at this. Again, winter is all about like kind of hunkering down and being still. So it's interesting that a lot of that energy is here this week for us. What else? What else is here? Okay. Okay, so we have track down your fears and desires, okay? So maybe this is like a good opportunity or a good moment to really recognize what's surfacing within us this week. Sometimes when we go still and when we kind of come to a halt in our lives and we just kind of take a deep breath, stop, pause, and go within, that really gives us a chance to acknowledge the space within of what's being acknowledged and what's wanting to be acknowledged. Maybe there's something there that's been kind of buried deep down or kind of not been given a voice to, right? And it's like, hey, what's going on the inside? Hey, what's wanting to be acknowledged, right? To acknowledge it, to kind of go within it so that we're able to like transform it, or not to kind of like shun anything down, but just to really acknowledge things and see what kind of patterns we've been living out, what kind of patterns we've been playing on in our hearts and in our minds, okay? I want to show you guys something too. So, and after we do this, that's when everything else comes in. That's when things start to unfold, right? Because we've been doing the inner work and there's less resistance, so there's more allowance of what's there and what's the kind of lighter version of what wants to be acknowledged, right? But it's about understanding that everything is within everything else, okay? Seeing that polarity, seeing it and not condemning it, not judging it, but just acknowledging it, okay? So it's interesting because the bottom of the deck here is Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Look, that ended up again on the bottom of the deck from earlier. And then I don't normally show like the cards underneath the deck, like if they're just sitting there like this, unless it's kind of open a little bit like that, right? So with that, it was sitting down here and I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, that's, you know, that's my sign. Like my guides want me to show this to you. So there's Earth Guardian and there's Medicine Guardian. So look at how green and beautiful they are. So for those of you who haven't watched my Gemini new moon video, and I think that you should check it out. And I'm not just saying that to kind of like toot my own horn, but it's a collective energy update and it's one of my favorite readings that I've done by far. And it's just like, oh my goodness, like just the energy around this new moon and this, I didn't even know it was a solar eclipse until I was watching Amanda's video actually, but it's just some pretty incredible energies. And what I heard in my left ear as I was shuffling my Chakra Oracle Insight deck was heart healing, and in that moment the love card flew out and it was green, which indicates heart chakra. So this is beautiful that these kind of both wanted to be showcased here in this reading. Look, they're just very still, very present. The heart walls are let down and it's like we're being real. Look at his hands. The hands are on the heart. It's like really acknowledging, really being rooted and present and really acknowledging what's within, and then also being able to like understand that, okay, like there's something here that's being offered, and maybe it is just a shift in perception, okay? It could even be too, oh, this is interesting. It could also be that once we go within, once we listen to our hearts, and once we really acknowledge something and create that space, like, ooh, seer, see perception, see beyond the current situation. Yeah, absolutely. And that's also with intuition and presence, right? It's that awareness. Do you see that word awareness on the intuition card? Awareness and guidance. See, I'm seeing a little bit of orange energy around there too. It's interesting because it could almost be like as soon as we acknowledge what's within and make that kind of space and allow the internal energy to balance out, that's when we start recognizing the talents in changing times, right? That's when we start recognizing what is within. That's when we start recognizing things. And this could very well be anything in the, you know, we might even see like after that, our creativity starts to rise. Our creativity starts to almost, I'm hearing the word potent, where it becomes potent. So it's very, very interesting. I'm going to pull a card from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. There we go. What's happening this week for us collectively? And yeah, it's really beautiful too, because with Druid, hold the space, that it's really signifying like holding the space for yourself and really just being open and honest and loving to yourself while, you know, certain things may come up while you release the old and rest, but also recognizing that by doing that, once you're balanced and once you're in more harmony with yourself, things start to unfold more naturally in your life. So you might even be noticing like physical things coming in or things shifting in your own personal life too, right? And I feel like this is more of like collectively for us too, right? Just kind of shifting some things, shifting our perception, and yep, also having the ability to be really flexible too, okay? So one card from this deck, please, for oh, or 2 or 3 or 4. Okay. First card. Our Lady of Guadalupe, the Empress of Protection. I am safe and divinely protected, and I am held in love at all times. Right, so this is all about, look at all of this red energy. This red root chakra energy being grounded in us. This is all about knowing that we're secure, knowing that we're safe while we do this, while we kind of come to these realizations within self, right? Yamoja, the goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. So this is beautiful. Again, this is talking to that creativity that I was picking up on at the beginning when I was seeing orange energy around the word perception and relating it to sacral chakra and creativity. It definitely does feel like creativity. I am an ocean. And what my guides are saying is that's what's going to happen next. They literally did that. They're like, that's what's going to happen next, okay? In my mind's eye. So that's probably after whatever it is that's wanting to be acknowledged, right? Like what we were talking about. I've never seen these cards before, so this is beautiful. And from this deck, sorry. And head Duana, the High Priestess. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, I'm just noticing, look at her jewel, I want to see like emblem that's in her kind of crown, in her crown around her third eye chakra. And look at the beautiful blue and how it just resembles this too. Yeah, it's like absolutely speaking from a place of who we really are, from a point of who we really are. That's really beautiful. I love that. What I'm hearing right now is the universe is within you, child. The universe is within you, child. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. That's beautiful. I'm really guided to, I don't normally do this, but I'm being really guided to read the soul voice meditation for this card, because one thing about that particular deck that's really beautiful is that each card, after its kind of description of what it is, gives you a soul voice meditation as well as a mantra. So let me just grab it really quick. Okay, so that was end Enheduanna. Ooh, you know what? I think I'm going to read you the whole spiel because this is my first time seeing this card too, and I did see psychology within this too. For those of you who may not know, I did just recently finish my psychology 4-year program, so I'm actually graduating on June the 29th of this month. And because I just saw the word psychology, now I'm like, oh, I want to read this, and I want to get to know this card and who she is. I want to really honor her. Okay, so Enheduanna, the High Priestess. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. So who she is. She embodies the ability to become one with our soul to live in our highest purpose. Born in Mesopotamia during the Akkadian Empire around 2285 BCE, Enheduanna is considered not only the first known female poet, but also the first named literary author in history. Wow. It is believed that she was the daughter of the Sumerian king Sargon of Akkad. She was given the title of En, which signified, oof, as I said that, I felt that power in my solar plexus. En, it's like I had to be really respectful by saying that name and by saying that title. So that signified her tremendous political power. Sargon of Akkad named her the high priestess of the most important temple in Sumer, and she was charged with the lofty task of melding the Sumerian gods and goddesses with the Akkadian ones to create stability in the empire. Wow. Enheduanna composed 42 hymns. Her most famous works are titled The Exaltation of Inanna, the Sumerian temple hymns. Her hymns were copied and used long after her death and considered immensely valuable, equal to the inscriptions of kings. She is credited with creating the structure of poetry, psalms, and prayers that were then used throughout the ancient world. Her hymns influenced and inspired the prayers and psalms of the Hebrew Bible and the Homeric epics. It is believed that Enheduanna reached a semi-divine status in her lifetime, and that she was considered to be the embodiment of the Sumerian goddess Inanna. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the page. So when your soul selects her card, over 4,000 years ago, the high priestess Enheduanna wrote in The Exaltation of Inanna, "Most precious lady, beloved by An, your holy heart is great, and in the Sumerian temple hymns, whatever enters you is unequaled, whatever leaves endures. She is the limitless love and the inexhaustible power that moves through us when we merge with the soul. We each have a personal myth. We each have an Ishta Deva, a personal deity who inspires and compels us to bring heaven right here on earth by moving us with the fierce conviction that we're divinely led. And Enheduanna encourages us to integrate our light and our dark to bring our unconscious aspects of self into consciousness. The high priestess is often described as the guardian of the unconscious. She is, I didn't know that's really cool. She is that aspect in all of us that holds the veil of awareness that separates us from our inner depths. And Enheduanna is about merging the awareness of our soul and all the love and power it gives us with our individual personality or ego, what Swiss psychologist Carl Jung would call personality 1 and personality 2. And Enheduanna wants you to live and breathe your soul. She wants you to become so intimate with it that there is no longer any separation, and there are no more excuses or apologies for how powerful you are. You are the high priestess. You are this eternal, she whispers. Your holy heart is this legendary. Okay, so soul voice meditation. What allows me to experience the reality of my soul? Ooh, that's beautiful. Let that land. Feel free to close your eyes and feel free to use this as a meditation too. Kind of a pre-intention or a pre-setting to your meditation. What allows me to experience the reality of my soul? It's got that very like dream world like energy to it. It's like, I guess how Abraham Hicks talks about getting into the vortex, right? Or what's within the heart, what's really within you. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. That's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, and it definitely feels like this energy of like coming into soul self, coming more into truth, right? And I kind of feel this more, if I'm being honest, I feel like kind of more throughout the start of the week, it's more of that energy of what's wanting to be acknowledged and going within. And then the creativity happens, and I feel like this energy, right, like into the soul self, integrating all of that and just really being that love, being that creative genius, being that free-flowing creator. I feel like that's kind of more like mid to end of the week, but I also feel like yeah, there's something about this energy with the solar eclipse and new moon in Gemini too. Okay, so the last card that fell out from this deck was White Buffalo Calf Woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. Yes, it does. It does feel like this abundance. And I love all of this heart energy that we have this week too, going within, of listening to heart, of like, it's almost like what I'm picking up on is speaking the heart, speaking what's within the heart, okay? And whatever comes our way. It's really beautiful too, because the crystals I put out for the reading, you can't really see them. Well, you can see the clear quartz over there, but they're kind of holding the space. I don't know which one this is. I have to look it up. But I know this is for the heart, and it's just, it's very, very soothing. Very, very soothing. So it's just interesting that I just happened to put these down and choose these specific crystals. Here, I'll show you the rest. For this reading, this one actually was gifted to you by a friend of my grandpa's. We had a very deep, nice, beautiful conversation about spirituality and everything. You know, this was years ago. And he said, you know, Carly, like, I just feel really, really great to have had this conversation with you. And I looked at him and I said, you know, it's reciprocal. It's like, likewise, you know, it's just really great to connect with people in a really genuine way, in a really genuine fashion, right? And just to talk safely and in an open space, and just to listen and love, really, and be in that state where you're just with people who just kind of get it, you know, who you're just able to like open up and talk about what it is that's, you know, what you're thinking about in terms of spirituality or with the way the world's going and stuff like that, right? And so he's like, I want to give you, he actually gave me a feather too with 3 colored beads on it. And he's like, this, I want to give you this. And I don't know what it is, but I know it's from ancient times. And I know that it came from the bottom of the sea or the bottom of the water somewhere. And it's just so beautiful. So I don't know what it's called, but I know that it's very, very beautiful, and it's very sacred. So I like to have that, and it just reminded me of the waters too. I really wanted to put up some water energy today too. And then this one is, it's a Lemurian kind of crystal. Let me see if I can focus this. It's a Lemurian crystal, but it's interesting because I put this here, and then I actually saw this one. This one was on my altar, but I just happened to look down as I was shuffling some of the cards in the pre-shuffle, and where I look, this one was already, it had fallen on the floor, so I picked it up. I knew that wanted to be in the reading too, so this is also a Lemurian crystal as well. These ones are very, very beautiful. Yeah, so beautiful. And then the clear quartz. I love this. It's very magnifying to me. Whenever I look at this, I think of magnifying energy. I'm still, you know, learning about different crystals as I go, but I know it's for intuition, which is handy as it just happens to be there. But yeah, it's just so beautiful. So the bottom of the deck for the Divine Feminine Oracle I did want to show you guys was Amaterasu, the Goddess of Light. Ooh, see how I was just talking about like it amplifies things? We are all sacred mirrors reflecting the same light. It's like that reflection of that light that's being amplified, right? This week. That's beautiful. Yeah, guys, so just to kind of recap, it's, you know, the intelligence card is here, so we could be learning something, anything this week, right? We could be learning more about how safe we really are, how safe we really feel when we're able to kind of go within, and maybe even learning more about like our bodies and our body's natural wisdom or what's within, right? But there is this huge factor on perception and flexibility, kind of going with the flow, and there's also this factor, this tinier factor on creativity, okay? Well, I wouldn't say tinier because we did have Yamoja come out, which is the goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. So again, all of that energy about what's within. Really listening to the guidance of our intuition and really having, I feel like we're really cultivating stronger awareness, self-awareness, okay? But on a collective level this week. And yeah, just really, again, we have the word awareness here too, awareness, but cultivating that awareness in the present moment for us. Some of us could be speaking from our hearts to whatever it is in life and in our realities. That's really important. And just really listening to our heart and really being devoted and committed to that, really being within that, releasing the old and resting, holding the space for ourselves. And then some of us even have some things coming to light where it's like, oh, you know, because I chose to acknowledge the fear within, I was able to kind of rebalance some stuff within and give greater weight to light. So now we might notice some gifts or some talents emerging too this week, okay, for us collectively and individually as well. I am one with my soul, and my soul is a legacy of love. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. So yeah, really coming into that heart space. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for taking the time to sit with me and journey in with me on this reading. If this did resonate for you in any way, shape, or form, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Do all the things like share, subscribe, comment below how this resonated for you, how this landed for you. Also comment below with kind of what energies you're picking up on maybe for this week, this new moon, this solar eclipse. And you know what, I'm actually going to link the Gemini new moon video I did, and again, just a warm, heartfelt shout out to Amanda Ellis. Please, I recommend going to check out her video if that does resonate as well. It is June, what is it? June, I wanted to say June coming in hot, but it's like, I don't know, it's a June video on the solar eclipse. I'm sure you'll find it when you get over there. Warming June or something. But yes, thank you guys so much for being here, and if you would like to book a distance Reiki session with me and or a personal reading, I will also leave that with the prices below. Other than that, I am sending you guys all love and light, and I do wish you well, and hopefully see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.